Chapter 4. The Depths of the Temple. As Elif and Osman Usta stepped into the dark corridor, the cold and damp air inside hit their faces. The interior of the temple was much larger than it appeared from the outside. The walls, worn by time, were covered in ancient inscriptions, etched in a language that Elif could not understand. Elif lit her small lantern to illuminate the corridor. "This could really belong to the Lost Kingdom," she whispered, her voice tinged with excitement. Osman Usta, however, was more cautious. He stepped carefully, scanning every corner with his eyes. As they progressed, they reached the end of the corridor, where it opened into a wide chamber. In the center of the room stood a massive stone slab, covered with intricate symbols and indentations. Elif examined the slab closely. Could this be a map or a guide of some kind? The symbols on it seemed like a puzzle, but they needed a clue to decipher its meaning. Osman Usta moved toward the edge of the chamber and took an old torch from the wall, lighting it to brighten the space a bit more. "This looks like a puzzle room," he said thoughtfully. "Maybe this slab will lead us to the next step." Elif took a closer look at the symbols on the slab. Then she noticed that there was an indentation in the center, as if something needed to be placed there to activate a mechanism. But what was supposed to go in the indentation was unclear. Elif and Osman Usta began examining the other inscriptions on the walls of the chamber. In one corner, they found a small stone chest with the same symbols engraved on it. Elif tried to open the chest, but it was locked and required a special key to open. At that moment, Elif's eyes caught sight of another symbol on the wall. This symbol resembled one of the markings she had seen on the map. Perhaps this symbol was a clue to what they needed to do in this room. She turned to Osman Usta and said, "I saw this symbol on the map. Maybe there's something in another room of the temple that we need to find." Osman Usta nodded. "Yes, maybe the key to this chest is hidden elsewhere. We should delve deeper into the temple." Elif and Osman Usta decided to move toward another corridor at the opposite end of the chamber. This corridor looked darker and narrower, but both of them pressed on with determination. The temple seemed to hold many secrets and dangers within its depths. With each step, Elif and Osman Usta moved forward with the thrill of the unknown. As they ventured further, the secrets of the Lost Kingdom became more apparent, but the dangers increased in equal measure. At the end of the corridor, they reached a large door. The symbols on the door were the same as those they had seen earlier. Elif pushed the door with all her strength. As it opened heavily, a wide room appeared before them. In this room stood an altar, and on it rested a glowing object. Elif and Osman Usta cautiously entered the room. As they approached the glowing object, they realized it was a key. But this was no ordinary key. It was adorned with the same symbols, gilded in gold, and emitted an enchanting light. As Elif took the key in her hand, she felt something moving deep within the temple. The mechanism was being activated by this key. However, this might not only unlock the next secret of the temple, but could also unleash a greater danger. Elif turned to Osman Usta. "This key will help us unlock the secret of the Lost Kingdom, but it could also open the door to a great danger," she said. Osman Usta nodded seriously. "Then we must be careful, Elif. This means both great reward and great risk." Elif took a deep breath and gripped the key tightly. This step brought them one step closer to the gates of the Lost Kingdom. Now it was time to return and place the key in the lock of the stone chest. They felt they had reached the most critical point of the adventure. The great secret was now very close to them.